Welcome to The Experience, live with Russ and Scott. Join us every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Learn more about the Experience community at our website, local.theexperience.video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Experience is brought to you each week by these great sponsors. Never forget a special moment for the important people in your life. Present Gifting is a free reminder service for birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, and more. Register for free at presentgifting.com. Nancy Bakke and Best Entrepreneur Solutions, revealing the key ingredients to skyrocket business profits. BestEntrepreneurSolutions.com. Your trusted mortgage professional is just a click away. Learn more at CapitalMortgageSource.com. Showing Up Perspectives on Cancer has a live event with speakers and fellowship this fall. Showing Up Perspectives on Cancer in-person event will be October 2nd through the 4th, 2026 in Harrison, New York. Learn more at PerspectivesOnCancer.com. And now let's get on with the show.
Yay. Let's get on with the show. Hey, everybody. Welcome to The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. We're here every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time for your viewing and listening pleasure. How you doing, Scott?
Yeah, I'm doing very good. And we were just talking about props. And I wanted more props. And so I just looked over and I go, oh, look, here's one. This is my badge from PodFest where we met today's guests, Amy and Christine. And so I pulled that off the wall because... Anyway, I'll just tell people when you say yes, good things happen. And I said yes to going to PodFest and being a speaker there last year. Met so many wonderful people, and people are going to meet them. Some of those folks today, Amy and Christine. But good things happen when you say yes.
Yes, it is true. I really enjoyed it. Met amazing people, and so thankful. My appearance at PodFest this year is a little shaky, so I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to go this year. But if I do, they have held a spot for me to speak, so I'm going to do that if I can. But yeah, it's a great opportunity. So thankful for that, and what a blessing! What a blessing!
Well, if you can, Russ is the inspiration specialist, and people definitely want to be a part of that event. Nice thing about PodFest is that there is the live event in Orlando every year in January, but they also do video all of the sessions. And so if you can't physically make it there, you can still get inspired by Russ and the other speakers by getting a ticket to the online edition of that. And but nothing beats being face to face with people and being able to, as my buddy Brian Fanzo says, social media, including podcasts, turn handshakes into hugs. And so you meet people and it's not, oh, hi, Mr. Hedge, nice to meet you. Let me shake your hand. You know, it's like, come on, we embrace. It's just a much better world.
Hey, I'm a hugger. I met somebody new yesterday at Corvallis Chamber Greeters, and I hugged her and I said, hi, nice to meet you. I'm a hugger. That's just who I am. So
there we go.
Hey, Scott, it is an exciting day today. We have two of our friends we met there, and they have a very, very interesting podcast and very fun, lots of props for us today. But I'm excited to get them on. But I just want to remind everybody that we are here at 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time every Wednesday for your viewing and listening pleasure. That's 9 a.m. Texas Standard Time, where Scott is. And
so if you're not a morning person, come to Texas.
There you go.
We're welcoming you.
And we are, if you miss us live, it sits on LinkedIn, YouTube forever, Facebook for 30 days. And you can also listen on audio podcasts because we're on all the major audio podcast platforms. So lots of opportunities to catch us if you can't. And Scott, there's more information. How do they find out more information about you and I?
Go to the website that we put together local.theexperience.video. That is a website, local.theexperience.video. You'll be able to get a copy of Russ's book, Life Happens and Then You Choose. You'll find my book, Business Networking, A Scientific Method there. You'll find our LinkedIn, YouTube, all that stuff. And you can also support the show. You can see on the screen, there's a QR code. If you grab your phone, you can scan that code and support this show. But on local.theexperience.video, you can click to contribute and support this show. We're just paying the hard costs. We've got a great partner in Ever that does so much work for us.
Yes.
We get her on camera occasionally, but she's a great human, a great friend, a wonderful business partner, and we want to keep her busy as well. So support the show as our sponsors do. We've got great sponsors for the show, and so make sure that you're clicking on the links and following Nancy Bakke and Capital Mortgage and Present Gifting, and that you're thinking about joining Russ in Garrison, New York this October at Showing Up Perspectives on Cancer.
Yes, it's going to be great. October 3rd and 4th. Love for you to join us. So it's going to be awesome. And besides keynoting, I'll be doing some inspirational talks in the morning to get everybody going. So excited about that.
And Russ is going to get a selfie with his picture up on the board in Times Square. Isn't that pretty amazing? There's going to be 2 books up there, and Russ is going to get pictures. So make sure that you're tuning in.
Yes, Life Happens and Then You Choose will be up there. And also Scott's and my new book coming out, Intentional Perspective, Finding Joy When Life Gets Messy, will be up there. We're excited for that. And so, going to be awesome. Scott, you have one other thing coming up.
Yeah, I'll be, I'm presenting on living an intentional life at the Ideas to Income Summit. And this is all about, as it says on the screen, turn what you know into income. You know, we all have ideas, but ideas without execution are worthless. So this is a free event. You can go to ideas to incomesummit.com/DSSM. That's Dennis Scott Smith, M for probably MBA, DSSM, and register for free. And then I would love for people to attend my session. It's all about creating space in your life to do those projects, like publish a book or learn a musical instrument, master a foreign language. Maybe you want to get involved in or start a nonprofit organization. That's what I'm talking about, is how do you create that space in your life so that you have time to do the things that add to your body of work and leave a legacy.
Well, I want everybody to know that I've registered, and all this information not only is on the screen, but it will be in the comments and in the show notes. So you can just click on it. You don't have to remember it and go there. And if you're interested, by the way, in being part of Intentional Perspective, Finding Joy When Life Gets Messy, the project, we're still looking for a couple authors. You can be part of that, and you can reach out to Kathy Dirksen. That information will also be in the comments, so you'll have that information there. And Scott,
absolutely.
With that, I think
I want to get I want to get the props going here.
There we go. Let's get the props going. Let's bring Amy and Christine in. You guys ready? We got to give you the big
here
intro here. So here we go. The big intro is coming. It's coming.
Almost got it right.
The crowd is going wild. How you doing, ladies?
We're doing wonderful, Russ.
Great.
Scott.
Great to see you guys.
Yeah.
We are so grateful that you're with us today, and we love what you're all about, what you're doing. Let's start off with just a little bit of information. Who the heck is Amy? And Christine, what are you up to? Amy, you go first.
Well, I'm Amy Daniels, and I am the creator of the Kitten and Clucky podcast, and where we try and inspire joy and confidence. It's an audio-only podcast, so our wonderful props are actually from a live show that we did with students, and we just try and teach vocabulary and give parents a screen-free option for listening with their kids.
You know, I do a radio show. It's audio only. I don't do any video on it. And I am just captivated by audio itself because it inspires the imagination. Even if you're just listening to the weather report, you're still engaging your
Right.
brain.
And there's
Your
so many
mind's
words
eye.
that are great pictures.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Go
ahead,
my name's
Christine.
Christine Rosal, and I joined Amy on our podcast on season 3 as her co-writer. She had asked me to do some voice acting on it before, and that was Piper, or the first character that I ever played.
And what does Piper sound like?
Well, she sounds a little bit like this. And she was a really young pelican, and she has crash landings every single time and pretty much into Clucky. And Clucky has developed a little bit of a crush on her, but she's not interested in that. She's interested in seeing the world and doing her migration from Florida to Washington.
And Clucky is just so inspired by all of the things that Piper does and tells him, and he just cannot get enough of time with Piper.
Beautiful.
That is so awesome. That's so awesome. You know, it's interesting because we all flew across the United States to Florida to meet each other. And you guys are about an hour away from me. I'm
Exactly.
driving. Yeah. And so it's crazy how close we are. Have you both lived in Washington your whole lives, or is this a new area for you?
Well, I grew up in Oregon, actually not too far away from where you are. I lived in Florida for 10 years, moved here, started the podcast, met Christine at the bus stop right after she moved here. So
Yes, I moved a year after they did from Toronto, Canada.
Oh, wow. Wow. So you were born in Toronto?
Yes. And I
Wow,
went
very
and I lived there pretty much my entire life until I went to school in Rhode Island for my university degree. And then when I was there, I met my husband who was living in New York, and he's a pilot. So we couldn't decide where to live. So at that point, I said, well, I still have family in Toronto, so let's go back there. So we lived there for 20 years. And then he was like, really miss being near mountains. Toronto's too flat. So that's what prompted the move. And because he's a pilot, he can, as long as he's close to a major airport, he was like, let's go.
awesome. Awesome. Well,
So
I
I
just want to
grew
say
up-
that
Go
I
ahead.
just want to say that I love your characters, but give us a little bit more information on the podcast itself. What is it all about?
well, we do a lot of vocabulary education through crazy stories. And a lot of the stories follow real life experiences. When I started the show, it was to get my kids off screens and show them that if you have an idea, you can totally like make it happen. And fortunately, my husband was super supportive when I was like, hey, I would love to write scripts and make different voices and pretend like I'm, different characters and, make a whole show and the kids are going to do voices too. And he's like,
So, but essentially, this
Okay.
its focus is around Kitten and Clucky. Kitten is an adopted kitten, and Clucky is the resident rooster, and it starts from their meeting basically, and then it's all about their adventures and how they see the world. So it's a very old timey sort of radio program feel to it because we do all the sound effects so that the kids can just immerse themselves in the world of Kitten and Clucky. And then while they're doing that, they'll learn different lessons about, we did last season, we were talking about sibling relationships. We've talked about forest fires, evacuations. We've talked about hurricanes. We've even talked about pet loss and how, family members can deal with that. So we try to tackle everyday things that families will encounter through the lens of these animals and animals that appear in their yard.
And what ages are you looking at targeting here for your
3
show?
to 12.
most of our audience is 3 to 12.
'Cause it sounded a lot like you're filling the gap that Fred Rogers left.
Yeah, that's a big gap to
That's
fill.
a big gap, yeah. But wow, love the idea of being compared to Fred Rogers. Such an inspiration. But just being able to, life can be challenging, and sometimes when you're just telling a story through your animal's eyes or whatever, it gives you that different perspective to realize you can get through these things. And I, as a parent, have used it a little bit as therapy. I'm like, I want my kids to say these lines or these messages to get in there, so their character might have a line that says like, don't give up. Like we did also, since both Christine and I moved, the characters moved across the country. There was a whole adventure related to that, and we incorporated some of our own personal moving stories in there, but also all of the feelings that go along with moving and leaving your friends and an unknown place. And, we just like to be that conversation starter of what, like, hey, how did you feel about that? Which sometimes is not easy to do with kids, especially in like tween years, like, let's talk about your feelings. They're like, no.
Well, but again, going back to Fred Rogers, right? I mean, he really found ways to connect with those children through a lens. Now you're connecting through audio only, and as I said, I like it because it activates the mind's eye to be able to do that. What kind of response and engagement have you found? Obviously, from the parents.
Oh, from the parents. Well, we've had a lot of
Because I don't think
positive.
3 and 6-year-olds are. Hopefully, they're not online.
Well, actually, we have a segment at the end of our show called the Balking Hotline.
Okay.
What are you balking about?
What are you balking about? And so kids can call in or send an email, send a joke, fun fact, whatever they want to do, and then we respond in some of our voices.
And this summer we've had when I started the show, I had this segment, and it was just called Joke of the Day, and it kind of fell flat. It was a real struggle to get callers and things, and it is actually a major skill. Kids today don't know how to pick up a phone, dial a number. It's a big learning curve to do that. And I was like, so I struggled with it for 2-3 seasons?
Two seasons,
And
3 seasons. And
3
then we
seasons.
dropped it for season 4.
Yeah. And I was like, Christine's like, maybe we just give up this segment. And I was like, oh, I'm so sad.
So we went through the whole 4th season of not doing it. And then in season 5, we suddenly exploded in terms of our listeners. And they all were listening from the very first episode. So they're now calling in, sending us emails. So we had to bring it back.
Yeah.
So you are getting engagement from parents and the
from
children.
Parents and kids. You hear the parent going, say your name, and they'll say your age, where are you from, and then or they'll respond back to the joke, which later gets cut into our characters responding back. But we've had so much response this summer. We did a bonus Bach every week, and we've got information coming in from our website where kids can post a message. We've had different kids from Scotland and Ireland, and coming up we've got the British Virgin Islands. So it's just been incredible. This week's one is actually Clucky and Piper in the studio, and a little boy named Simon talking about a chicken fire alarm. So.
Well, I applaud the work that you're doing, and I dream of a world where chickens can cross the road without their motives being questioned.
Chickens, yes. Hamsters, definitely not.
Always question.
Always question the hamster.
And just to let people know, you're holding up the hamster of doom. Is that?
Yes. This is
Rubix,
the hamster of doom, and she is trying to take over the world.
I just love that. So you guys it's an ongoing story, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's an ongoing story. So
They're
people get
episodic,
in.
though, because you can listen to one episode. We have a couple of them which are like 3-part series or something, where there's 3 episodes and it's a continuing longer storyline. But for the most part, they're one-off episodes. You don't need to listen to the other ones. But what we find is they listen to one and then they want to start from the beginning, and that's how we get most of our listeners.
Mm-hmm. So
Right.
if we did something before, we like the balking line, we had to bring it back because we're just like, oh, we've got balkers now.
Well, I just think that's
better than
so much
Swifties.
fun because a lot of podcasts are not like that. And a lot of them are business or other things. And I love the fun thing targeted at kids, really, good. Do you guys, you insert a lot of educational things and stuff in that as well, besides fun things?
Yeah. So Christine and I always have believed that you just don't talk down to your kids. We've never done it with our kids. So if they don't understand a word, we just define it. And when you have the menagerie of characters that we do, Clucky is notorious for mishearing words and stuff. And then we're defining them within the story, or we're using large words. And in every episode and all of the show notes, we have all of the words that are defined, and sometimes in multiple languages, because we have characters that speak Spanish. We have characters that speak French. One of Christine's other more popular characters is Pharrell, and he's French Canadian, of course, and he has this amazing French accent and a very Pepe Le Pew vibe as well. He has a crush on Kitten. And but so we get to do Spanish phrases and French phrases, and then we have a squirrel named Hazel who also just
has a tendency of repeating whatever they're talking about. If it's a live thing, she will list the Latin name for it.
Yes, which thankfully I don't have to do that character because man, I couldn't pronounce those words.
I started writing the character.
So,
it was my idea to actually introduce it, but I was like, I don't have to voice it, so it's okay.
That's our friend who's Janae, who is wonderful and can say really hard words. So
I just think of the what it takes to keep track of these characters. When
we're up to 52. No, actually
37.
No.
What?
No, there's more than there's 52 characters.
So it is harder than I thought.
It is.
Yes.
I mean, we know all the ones we voice, which Christine voices like 13 characters.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
amazing.
No, I'm thinking it's more because we just have our new season coming.
Oh, our new
'Cause we just-
season. Okay,
because
I
now
haven't
there's
added those yet.
No, because the kids did the list. So I was like,
That's
52
okay.
characters.
That makes sense. So yeah, we have and every time we add a new character or animal, we also have to do animal facts, right? So like you learn about raccoons and that they're called kits, and you learn about just all of the different, like the opossum one was
Yes, one of my favorites.
Yes, another voice of Christine's. She does a possum
Because our family actually encountered an opossum, and it was just a hilarious sort of encounter. So we've included that into the podcast.
right, and then
One time-
another.
One time I was at work in the bank, and this is in Corvallis, Oregon, and I get a phone call my wife calls the bank. I get on the phone, and then I hang up and tell them I got to go home. There's a possum under the bed. And so I got home. Fortunately, for some reason, we had a salmon net, and so I go and I reach under the bed, scoop them up, and we're right by Oregon State University, where the Marine Corps has their confidence course, and they had just dropped off a whole truckload full of big logs that they were going to use to rebuild it. And so I let this possum loose in there, but as I'm carrying him over in the net, he's just playing possum, as it were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But as soon as I let him go, he runs into the wood pile, turns around, looks at me, and starts hissing. Like, mean. I'm mean.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So anyway, possums are fun.
They are.
They are.
So, and they can have up to like 13 babies in their litter. So, our possum is actually named 9 because her mom didn't know
What to name her.
So she was like, "You're
Do I have a
9."
name? My
Wow.
mom told me 9.
That's crazy. I could never keep track of all those voices and do those kind of things. And that's amazing that you guys are able to do that.
Russ
But
and I are
let's-
able to do up to 2 voices each. But
Yeah.
when we clear the phlegm out of our throat, then we're back to the original.
Yeah. But unfortunately, I've got to be the responsible host again because we're running out of time. We want you guys to give us your gold nugget of today's conversation, what you really want people to remember. And with that, give the day and time of your podcast or when it releases each if it's weekly, monthly, daily, I forget that. And then how to get in touch with you.
Well, the podcast is called Kitten and Clucky. We can be reached at kittenandclucky.com. Our podcast releases throughout the school year. So it's September through May or June, once a month. And usually on like the
third Wednesday. Third
of the
Wednesday of the month
Yes.
is when it releases. And that's new episodes. But over the summer, we're also running our weekly on Tuesdays, our bonus box for all of our callers that have been calling in recently. And we just want to inspire confidence and bring joy to families and help them through tough conversations and also share a couple fun words. So.
Yeah. Well, it's so much fun. I just laughed and thought how fun when I saw you guys walking through PodFest last January and you had your costumes on and all that. And I thought, these people know how to have fun with life. And that's so amazing. So amazing.
Thank you. We try.
Yeah, you bet.
And thank
Scott,
you for bringing us on.
Oh, you bet. I'm so excited to have you on. Thank you for that.
I could see us doing many more episodes together as you bring different characters to the show.
Well, if you guys are feeling wily, let us know. If there's a character
There
you've
you
always wanted to play, we are good at ad-libbing those scripts.
Yes.
Well, that's fun. So thank you so much for, I'll just say again, for filling a gap left by Fred Rogers in the lives of the children and helping them use their imagination. And that is such a critical tool for success in life. And so thanks for stepping in and protecting our future.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. You guys are a blessing. We're going to say goodbye here on screen, but hang tight in the green room. We'll see you in a minute.
We'll see some different characters there probably.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun.
Oh.
Hey, thank you to everybody that's been commenting. And I just want to give a shout out to our buddy, my friend, Mike Asherbrainer. He was also our roommate at PodFest. So it's good to have him here. And Mike, I do miss you, by the way. So good to see you here.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun because we were all there together and Mike saw these ladies as well. And just a lot of fun. People bring different twists, different ideas to PodFest, to podcasting in general. And so thankful for people like them that are really thinking about the kids. You know, the upcoming generations are so important. So thankful for that. Scott, we just want to remind everybody we're here every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. For your viewing and listening pleasure, you can watch us on replay after we're done on LinkedIn and YouTube forever, Facebook for 30 days. And you can also listen to us on audio, on podcast, on audio podcasts like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, iHeartRadio, all the big ones we're on. So please join us there. And Scott, any other last comments?
I'm going to tell people again, subscribe on our YouTube channel. Go to local.theexperience.video, click on our YouTube, follow us. Let us know what your YouTube channel is. We'll follow you back. We would love to do that. And save yourself some money. Cancel that Netflix, cancel the Hulu, cancel Disney Plus, subscribe to The Experience, and spend time with the most remarkable people on the planet, like Amy and Christine, our guests that we have every week.
Yes, we have the most amazing guests, and we're so thankful for that. And with that, we're just going to thank everybody. People are going wild. You know, Mike always wants to see Kermie.
He's actually our props here at the show, at The Experience.
There we go. All right. Listen, everybody, have a blessed and amazing week. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to The Experience live with Russ and Scott. If you enjoyed today's show, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or subscribe on YouTube. See you next time.